Come meet my new action camera. Now, I've used an SJ4000 series for quite a few years now, and it's been working really well. However, there's something wrong with the audio. Otherwise, I've loved the overall function. The one version that I have does not have time-lapse video, and that's something that I kind of wanted in a camera. And as well, I just wanted improved video performance and stabilization. Now, I could have chosen pretty much any action camera out there. There are so many different types now. I decided to stay with the SJCAM name, and I happened upon this particular one, the M20. It had the video lapse, it had the stabilization. It did come in this different form factor, and it came with just one battery. As SJCAM usually does, has tons of accessories, the waterproof camera case, plus every other possible mount you can think of. I did purchase an extra battery, just to be on the safe side. The unit itself has the different dimensions compared to the SJ4000 cameras and other action cameras. It's more of an upright design. As you see, it's got the slots for the USB, micro USB. It's got a slot for a very small micro, I think HDMI, the SD card, micro SD card slot, speakers, and control buttons here. One is for, you'd think that this is for the zoom, but there's actually no zoom function on the M20. These are just simply for scrolling through the menu. This is to get one of the quick menus, and this is also to connect Wi-Fi. I believe that is the microphone on button and the shoot button, or the select and OK button. So turn it on, hold it for a few seconds, green light comes on, and that's it. And the menu system, again, you can control through here, this button, or you can select through here. So if we toggle through, this is the picture mode, and then here's the menu system. Video photo mode, playback mode, so that's just to replay anything you want. Video lapse, and this is excellent. The video lapse, I find, function is fantastic. And again, you'll see the time, this little symbol here, it says it's basically in a 1 second mode. So the weird thing is to change that, you have to come here, press that button, and you can press OK here, and you can change it to a 1 second video time lapse, 2 second, 5 second, 10 second, and even 1 minute for longer periods of time that you want to capture. Here's just some quick examples of some of the footage of the time lapse set at 1 second. Here is the slow record, and I found that it's not really that great. It only goes to 2 times slower. Honestly, just rather do that in the video editing section in my video editor instead of doing it on the camera. I'll just fast forward through some of the other modes, but you can quickly see what other modes are present. Setup. So setup goes through the basic setup functions. And first I'll show you some examples of the different resolutions. At 4K, 2K, 1080p, 720p, and finally VGA. The field of view, I'll show you the settings here: wide, narrow, middle. The first is actually super wide, then wide, middle, and then finally narrow. Basically looks like you're just zooming in. Low light mode, right now it's on because again it's really poor in low light. Anyway, it does work, and I'll show you the difference on the low light mode. So this is low light mode off and low light mode on, and you can really see that difference. The WDR is basically like an HDR gyro sensor, which I always have on. This is just a walk in the woods with the stabilization on, and I'll show you a more extreme example on the motorcycle. But first I'll show you what I use the rotate function for when I'm using the camera on my motorcycle helmet. So this is an HJC IS-17. So I devised this one where I place one of the mounts which is able to swivel and pivot this way, which gets me the proper angle. And then I use the mount here that slides in, and another angle piece that allows me to adjust for angle. And then just simply put it in the shoe here. Clip. Only problem is in this direction and position here is when I do a shoulder check. I hit myself a little bit in the left shoulder, but it's quite stable and it's not going to move around on me. Pops off. Alternatively, I can have it as a side mount here, and that will work as well. Now here's a good example of the stabilization compared to my Senna prism tube, which has no stabilization. This top button is for connecting to Wi-Fi, so if you have the app you can connect it to the phone apparently. Waterproof casing, and like all the SJCAM products, casing's rock solid. I haven't had any problems with it in the water. Showing underwater recordings in a bathtub, well, what's the point? There's nothing really going on there. Just having one battery is not a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to have two. The battery is a 900 milliamp battery, which does last 1 to 2 hours. It's not like the standard SJCAM batteries. The battery compartment is better, I think. It's not just a pull it out, pop it open, and it stays put. So the original battery that comes with it, actually, oddly enough, is really tight fit. The extra battery that I got fits actually better. Well, the pros of this SJCAM M20 are, number one for me, the stabilization. The gyro function works really well, keeps the footage stable. Second, I love the time-lapse feature. I just kind of like the footage that you get from the time-lapse, and I just like the compatibility with all the other mounting systems. The cons that I have right now are the low light performance is very poor. The Wi-Fi app that you can connect to your phone doesn't work at all, and I can't figure a way to make it work. And the microphone is of poor quality. Now, is it worth that $140 some odd? Maybe not. You know, I'd go for something closer to about $100. I think that's what it's actually worth. And I have been using this for about 6 months, and I filmed my latest video, which is the Guillotine Part 2 Mousetrap, completely with this camera, and it did a pretty good job. So I'm going to keep using this, and I found many uses for it already. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this one, please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.